that was assisted by the Spirit of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Their life have something like shit. You know what I mean? Jake was capitulating. You know what I mean? You know, go into the story of basically didn't get made to sacrifice unto idol. You know, father of the Maccabees, Sagittarius. Yeah, father of the Maccabees. Like, fuck that. He killed him. He killed Jake. Like, so the revolt started with Jake killing righteous Jake killing a wicked Jake. You know what I mean? And then they started, fighting against Esau. Well, we can't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The Lord does. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not to the Spirit of the Lord. You know what I mean? Comes to matter of fact, the Lord. All right, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakudash. All right, double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, teach well, Wabarak a thumb, and to the hopeful elect. This is GMS Dallas, and we're in a side lesson. I'm the brother Yesai. My page, GMS Kwambakaya 1.144.
Brother Isaiah, GMS Furnace of Adversity.
I know, GMS Stay Humble. Yep, and hey, through the Spirit, we're just going into how, hey, when the Lord comes with us, once the Lord makes that intervention, guess what? Esau Edom is gonna go down, man. He's gonna go into slavery. See, that's that righteous standard that's gonna be set up upon the planet Earth, man. When Yahweh Shah ruling, and guess what? The governing body ruling under him. If we get Revelation 2:26, Bible Kashan, because that's what happened. That's what happened in past times, man. The Lord had put the Spirit on men to have faith, and guess what? To revolt. See, or through His Spirit to show His power, take down these various nations. Even when you go into the conquest of Joshua and Caleb. You see, when you go into that conquest, those nations was established. They had their military, they had the land taken care of, right? But what did the Lord do? To show His power, He gave a nation that wasn't established as Israel abilities to be able to take their ass down, put them in subjection. You got it, bro. This is Isaiah 26 and verse 5. For He bringeth down them that dwell on high, the lofty city. He layeth it low. He layeth it low even to the ground. He bringeth it even to the dust. You see, so that lofty city of 2026, because basically the fear of the Bible being, relevant today, all right, is basically, because of the wickedness that's going on, in the modern times, man. Chiefly here, the great poor. That's why nobody wants to accurately define what America's role is in prophecy. People are scared to say, okay, who's the self-proclaimed white man in the Bible? And he just said, oh, we're all mixed. We're all children of God, right? We're one in Christ. When the scriptures, the Lord, separated, the nations, man, gave them different land masses, and you still have it today. But you want to talk about how we're all one in Christ? Well, everybody doesn't believe in the same thing, so that doesn't even work. Okay, so there's differences in nations. Okay, and it says in verse 6, the foot shall tread it down, even the feet of the poor and the steps of the needy. So who's the poor? Who's the needy? Who's the ones that the Lord is dealing with, man? Here at Babylon the Great, because this is where the prophecy, this is where the major prophecy is going to take place. You get 26, that second, what's that? Zechariah 12, where it says, David, the house of David shall be his outline.
Now, this is Revelation chapter 2 and verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end.
Matter of fact, get 25 slightly.
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 25. But that which ye have already hold fast till I come.
Yep, hold fast till I come. But what is he talking about? This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The promises. This wisdom that we have, the Spirit of the Lord, that's given us the understanding of the prophecies, the understanding of what our forefathers are supposed to inherit, we got to hold fast to that. That's what's going to lead to us being able to continue on. Because it's going to look like Esau don't forward this N-W-O agenda, man. It's going to look like he won. But guess what? Through us hold fast to the promises, that's how we're going to be able to overcome this stuff, man. Because you know what? The Lord promised us something greater. He promised us deliverance and salvation. He promised to place these heathen nations in what? Subjection unto us, man. But you got to hold fast unto that, man. You got it, bro.
Verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end.
And when it goes to overcome, it means keeping the faith, man. Because we're going to come to a point in time where it's going to be rare, a scarcity for somebody to still have faith. People ain't going to be believing in the scriptures no more. People are going to be in the spirit of all cardinal things, man. My money, my weapons. Now I got this kind of weapon. I got the extended clips. I got all that. They going to think that's going to save them. But we're going to come to a point in time where if you don't, the Lord ain't dealing with you, you ain't going to be able to make it, man. See? Esau Edom has all types of technology and weapons to where you can easily track your face down, track exactly where you at, and fucking have a drone come and blow your shit up, man. Easily, man. See? He's going to have military troops barricading the cities. There's going to be a scarcity of food. You see, it's going to be teeth of wild beasts and animals running rampant, killing people. And the only way to be able to be delivered is going to be through Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, having mercy and having deliverance upon you, man. So at that time, that's why the Lord said, when he come back, shall he find faith? That's how bad it's going to get out here. It ain't going to be no people. People going to look at somebody crazy for still having faith. That's how bad it's going to be out here, man. And most people don't understand what's really getting ready to happen, which really is already happening. It's just the beginning stages, the beginning of sorrows. We're approaching that more into it. That's why our elders always say that we're in Jacob's trouble. We're in a great tribulation time. You just had ICE going, chunking people off boats, coming to throw the people who already was here in America, throwing your ass out. You see? You have all this people's jobs being attacked by AI, so on and so forth, man. This is tribulation. Yeah. And it's only gonna get worse as time goes on.
It's just warming up. Like if you can still drive around downtown, like motherfuckers talking about gas pricing, but it's still what has changed. All this shit's still the same. Society is still moving along here in Babylon the Great. Now, other people, you got millions of people that's basically homeless in the Middle East right now due to the war. You know what I mean? Between Iran and Israel, the state of Israel. Okay, and there's other areas, other countries, Lebanon, Jordan, Syria. You know what I mean? Iraq. That's going through it. You know what I mean? Saudi Arabia, UAE, motherfuckers going through it, catching hell, right?
But like, actually, yeah, you ain't got to worry about a missile come flying across your head.
Yeah,
here in America.
Yeah,
troops coming through, just to jack your ass up. Done. That's happening in other countries though. It's believe.
Yep.
But I got this scripture real quick. In Job chapter 2, and verse 9, it says, Then said his wife unto him, Doest thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. And I brought that out because you mentioned earlier how people are going to be looking at you crazy because you still have a faith. Like you said, you quoted Yahushua, when I come, shall I find faith in the earth. Like, people are going to be amazed, that we still are maintaining our integrity because, we're going to go through tribulation too. You know what I mean? That hour of temptation that shall come upon all the earth in Revelation 3, that includes us. We're going to have to go through, tribulation, but we're going to be delivered from that. Whereas the 2/3 of our people, they're going to be consumed by it. Okay, by that, they're not going to be able to make it. They gonna fold. Yeah, it's like that. That's the fail of the test. You take that device inside you, you lose faith, fail the test. But the way you pass the test, you still trust in the Lord, man. Through the Lord putting you in a scenario where sight looks like it's no way out of that situation. Like Abraham, having the faith of Abraham. That's what made that the Lord looked at Abraham and said, "You're righteous because of how much faith he had." See?
I had that right here.
Let's get it.
God, this is Romans chapter. I'm gonna get in the NLT or KJV.
Get it, NLT.
God, this is Romans chapter 4 and verse 18. Even when there was no hope, no reason for hope, Abraham kept hoping, believing that he will become the father of many nations. For Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has said to him, that's how many descendants you will have. Verse 19, and Abraham's faith did not weaken even though at about 100 years of age, he figured his body was as good as dead, and so was Sarah's womb. Verse 20.
Yeah, because why? Because there was Abraham was what, 100 or 90? Sarah was either 90 or Abraham. One of them was 90. And the other one, and Abraham was 10 years older, basically like 10 years older than her. You know? So what 90-year-old do you know that's having children? Because it wasn't just Abraham that was old. Sarah was old. She was old too. Older than our grandmas, but conceiving a child. You know what I mean? So yeah, the Lord worked with him, you know? You got it. If I may add too, he was asked to sacrifice Isaac after the Lord made all those promises and told him all this stuff was gonna happen. He still believed even when the Lord told him to go sacrifice him, man. Yep. See that's that showed that he had faith. He was like, man, the Lord go, because like when you go into the verse above it, the 17th verse, it said that he believed that the Lord could raise him back up. He could raise Isaac back up, man. See, because that's how powerful our Lord is, man. But you got to have that type of faith in these times that we're coming into, just like Abraham did, which is a lot of brothers about the precept. Well, you got to remember, Abraham literally saw, like, he basically like saw the Sodom and Gomorrah destruction. Like he saw various different things. The Lord delivered him out of the hands of multiple. I think it was 5 kings that he fought against. You know what I'm saying? Several kings that he fought against. You know, he saw I believe it was the Pharaoh of Egypt. You know, basically get smitten. The men of Egypt get smitten over. Sarah, his wife. They got smitten like with a disease. You know what I mean? Or some type of y'all remember that account? That's when Abraham traveled up into Egypt, and he didn't want nobody to know that Sarah was his wife. You know what I mean? Because he didn't want nobody to kill him for his wife. So he said, "No, this is my sister." You know, they tried to deal with her. Yeah, they tried to pay for that. You know what I mean? The Lord basically, you know what I mean? So he saw various. This is the point I'm trying to make. He saw various different things during his lifetime, leading up to, and of course, you know, dealing with the Lord. Of course, you know, the Most High dealing with him. You know what I'm saying? You know, the angel of the Lord dealing with him. You know, speaking to him. Right? So he saw multiple different things that basically, you know, we don't see in our average lifetime. So his faith is built up. But my point I'm making to all that is you're supposed to build your faith as you continue your walk. Okay? And that last test, basically that last big test that Abraham, the Lord put, you know, for Abraham was that basically sacrifice, man. You know, of Isaac, you know, and he passed the test, you know, but that's he still believed, man. That's what we're going to do. We're going to still believe, even when the sight don't look like it's no way out. We got to believe in how powerful our Lord is. What Scripture say, the Lord's hand is not short, and it cannot deliver. So we got to have that type of faith, man. Got it, bro. That was going on.
It's a little bit more. This is Romans chapter 4, verse 20 in the NLT. Abraham never wavered in believing the Most High's promise. In fact, his faith grew stronger, and in this, he brought glory to Yahweh Shemel Shai. Verse 21, he was fully convinced that the Most High is able to do whatever he promises. So ultimately, Yahweh Shemel Shai already promised that he's going to deliver his elect. He's going to keep him from all these different plagues that are about to be sent upon the planet Earth. Like it said in Sirach chapter 39, you know, the teeth of wild beasts, the spirit is created for vengeance. Those were created for the wicked of our people that don't have any faith, that lack the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But the elect, they're already trusting Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know, and in those days, there's going to be nothing but faith. The only thing that's going to be left is faith in Yahweh Shemel Shai, because the elect, they're going to have to walk off the grid. They're not going to take the MOTP, the RFID microchip. So they're going to fully have to put their trust in faith in Yahweh Shemel Shai.
It's Psalms 34. Psalms 34 goes into that, man. And also Psalms 91. That's what they're written for. These are prayers. Our forefathers said, man. It was some jacked up situations. Like I remember under one of the Psalms, that was when King David, like he had to play like he was slow. Because the king, he was in the midst of a king with enemies behind enemy lines. And he basically what he did was he acted like he was slow. They was like, this ain't King David. This dude out of here. But King David wrote Psalms in these various situations. Got it, bro.
I almost started the first verse.
Sorry, seven time.
This is Psalms 34 and verse 7. The angel of the Lord encamping round about them that fear him and delivereth them.
Just like you go into that account. I believe that was Elisha, where basically a lot of Israelites were kind of scared because of the nations that was coming against them. Because they basically flat out said, no, it's Elisha that's that, like, I believe it's Second Kings. They were like, it's Elisha that's saying what you're gonna do, King. It's not us. So they came after Elisha, and he basically told his servants, don't be scared. He said they that are with us are more than the nations, their chariots, their army, because he's speaking about the angels being around them, man. And then he as he prayed for the Lord to allow his servants to actually see all the angels around him. See, but guess what? That's always the same predicament for the elect, the true servants of Yahweh Bashiach Mashai. Lord has divine protection for those men. When Yahweh Shah was in his time of temptation, when he sweated the blood in the garden, guess what? An angel came and strengthened him. See, so he can go through with that sacrifice, and so on and so forth. We always have protection. We continue to serve Yahweh Bashiach Mashai. Got it, bro.
Verse 8. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him.
Yeah, blessed is the man that trusted in him, that has faith. See? Because guess what? That's the only way you're going to have patience. You got to believe the Lord can make that outcome change, or he's going to make something happen for you. See, if you ain't going to work overtime at work, you know that check ain't going to hit your account. Jay would never do that shit. Jay be quick. The first thing that Jay do when he get a job, he going to ask what? Hey, how much do I get paid? What's my pay rate? That's the first thing that Jay going to say. See? That's how it is. That's how it is. This is an investment, man. And the only way you're going to go through the investment, you have to believe that Yahweh Shah is going to fulfill what he said, man. That's the only way you're going to go fully through. What is that? Hebrews 12 and 2. It said, for the joy set before him, he endured the cross. So Yahweh Shah knew what the outcome was going to be for him trusting all the way and finishing the mission. That's the same thing we got to do to finish our mission. We know that the Lord going to establish the kingdom. He's going to raise men back up. But we have to ultimately sacrifice it and commit ourselves to this truth all the way into death. You see? Got it, bro.
Yeah. You still want that in Zechariah 12?
Oh, yeah, kind
of. All right. This is Zechariah chapter 12. And I'll start at verse 6. It says, in that day will I make the governors of Judah like an hearth of fire among the wood.
Yeah, but hearth of fire among the wood. That sounds like Obadiah. That's how you know the prophets, they saw some of the same type of visions, the same revelations. Because the prophecies don't change, man. See? The same things that Obadiah was seeing, that Zechariah was seeing. The same things John the Revelator was seeing, Ezra was seeing. And they were speaking the same type of visions. But it shows how the Lord is going to raise his men back up, man. Got it, bro.
Yeah, it says, and a torch of fire in a sheath, and they shall devour all the people round about, on the right hand and on the left.
All you people going to get jacked up, man. Because guess what? The Lord said, the Lord is a man of war. See? And what is the Lord going to do to ultimately translate the kingdom? It's going to come via through war, as it always has, man.
That's right.
See? Whenever a nation came back into power, there was war, there was battle. See? It was a format of battle or war. And then that's when the kingdom would get translated. The other kingdom will surrender. They're like, we can't fuck with y'all. We letting it go. In our situation, we're just going to come and take it. So we're going to have spiritual power. Y'all ain't going to let them shit about it, man.
Got it, bro. Yep. And it says, and they shall devour all the people round about on the right hand and on the left, and Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem,
the whole land.
Yeah. Now, if you think about it, okay, you got these Zionists, all right, that basically believe that the scripture is fulfilled already, right? 1948, Balfour Declaration, right? Basically, that was when the state of Israel was, quote unquote, officially conceived, you know? And you actually have individuals that believe that the people of the Old Testament, right, the actual biblical Israelites, you have people believe that the individuals in the state of Israel are actually those people, okay?
completely delusional. Okay, and these are the people that's leading the military. These are the people that have access to nuclear weapons. These are the people that have access, to trillions of dollars. Okay, and basically control the markets and the resources of the earth. All right, so that's why when it actually happens, okay, that's why when it actually happens, it's going to be unfathomable. Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, and then you got, you know, people like, that comment random like bug out comments. Um, they're going to be completely caught off guard. You know what I'm saying? Like basically to them, they got so many demons on them. What we say, it wouldn't even be able to get through to them, even if they wanted to pay attention. You know, but we just putting it out there, okay? So that way we can get the blood off our hands, man. Okay, Ezekiel 33. What you got, bro? Yeah, from an ad we're really out here to seal judgments. Most people ain't gonna get it. They're gonna come against us, just like they did to Jeremiah, just like they did to keep all of our forefathers, just like they did to Noah. They talked trash. They didn't want to receive it. Even Yahushua and the disciples. People scoffed at him and got mad, and they tried to kill him. Same things will happen to us, but guess what? That's okay. The Lord wants to seal their judgment. The Lord has spirits that he hates, that he wants to kill, and spirits that he wants to save. And the Lord's going to kill most of these people on the earth, man. Especially wicked Israelites, man. Finish that. I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Verse 10. Yep. Continuing on in Zechariah 12. You better drop down to verse 10, you said?
Oh, you can read
Right, I'll drop down I'll read it. It says, verse 7, and the Lord shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. And Judah's the head tribe. That's why when Yahushua came, who do you have to come first to? Southern kingdom. That's when you say Jew, that's really supposed to be Judeans, man. The southern kingdom. Because the northern and southern kingdom split. And they weren't together when they were in that Roman captivity. Could there have been certain northern kingdom there with them too? But chiefly, it was mainly Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And when you read certain particular scriptures, it describes how they were together and when they went into captivity. See? But the Lord went into Judah first, the southern kingdom first. And now you look at this current awakening, what happened? The Lord started with the southern kingdom. See? We believe Elder High Priest Abba Bivens, John the Baptist, fulfilled that prophecy. And who rose up first? Southern kingdom, Judah, man. Judeans, man. Got it, bro.
Even when you look at the ministry, and Yahushua's ministry, before the Gentiles, which are the Israelite foreigners, right, were preached to, the word went out to Judah first. Okay, even when you look at what's the name of that area? Galilee, right? Which was technically the land of the northern the ancient, how would you say it? It was technically like the land of Galilee was north of Samaria, right? But there was still Judah, Benjamin, and Levi up there around the Sea of Galilee, right? That's where Yahushua did most of his miracles at. So that's where Nazareth, and that's really where Yahushua was from. You know what I mean? He was born in Bethlehem, but he was raised, in Nazareth. You know what I mean? That's why he was known as Yahushua of Nazareth. And Nazareth was looked at like lower class. Like you stay in the city, like, okay, you got money. You stay in Jerusalem, you stay in Judea, in the surroundings, very close proximity, walking distance, within a day's journey of Jerusalem. Okay, you got money. You stay all the way up there in Denton or McKinney or some shit. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Somewhere all the way up there, halfway to Oklahoma. They're like, hey, you know what I mean? You ain't really too much close to us like that. So they kind of, but Yahushua, those people up there in Galilee, they were more receptive to, but they were still Judah. You know what I mean? Right? But my point to that is, um, okay, when you continue reading here, because that goes into that at that time too, and then also, like you said, in the Great Awakening today, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically, the truth came out of Harlem, as they say. You know what I mean? The elders in New York, you know what I mean? That's where it started off at, you know, with amongst Judah. Now you have, of course, the Northern Kingdom, you know what I mean, that's teaching the word as well. Like, you know, we, well, I don't know, what's your tribe again? Yeah. You got it too? Yeah. Okay, yeah, so we all know the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? We not too proud to admit that Southern Kingdom got it first. That's okay. You know what I mean? Hey, 444. Call out y'all busting y'all shot. Yeah, that's the prophecy though. Yeah. That's how the prophecy is supposed to be fulfilled. Yeah. Just like I mean, think about it. We shit Northern Kingdom both times, they got their ass whooped first. Yeah. Cause like first there was a series that came and took over Northern Kingdom, and then you look at fast forward now, the Europeans came and fought with Northern Kingdom in Americas, North and South America. And then Southern Kingdom got brought here on slave ships and got traded all through around. Yeah. And then they got brought into slavery too. Right. So either way, hey, Lord, we'll whoop that ass first. So we got something first, all right? Fine. Got it, bro. But I will say, I ain't gonna lie, Southern Kingdom, they went through basically two captivities that majority of Northern Kingdom didn't have to go through. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Southern Kingdom went through the Grecian Empire. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, 3 and 4. Like the Babylonians too. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm tripping. My bad. 4. I'm thinking of Esau's rule, but yeah, no, you're right. 4 really, like you said, Babylonian, Medo-Persian Empire. See, but the Medo-Persian Empire, in relative to, you know, the Grecian and the Roman Empire that came after it, it wasn't as bad. Because remember, during the Medo-Persian Empire, you know, Jake was allowed to rebuild the city and rebuild the temples and the walls around the city. You know what I mean? Ultimately to the point where, you know, we was established enough that by the time the Greco-Roman Empire came around, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we still had our city, you know what I mean? And we was even able to defend off, you know what I mean? Like Antiochus Epiphanes and all that, you know, the Maccabean Revolt, you know. Even up into the Roman Empire. The Romans actually was in league with Jake. When you read that First Maccabees, I think it's like chapter 8. You know what I'm saying? It talks about the Roman Empire, or I'm sorry, the Roman Republic being in league with, y'all know about that, right? Judas Maccabees wrote, like they had communications with the Roman Republic. I'm talking about before the Caesar times. Before they had Caesars, they had the Senate. That was the Roman Republic. You know what I mean? So they was around. Remember, the Roman Empire obviously took down the Grecian Empire. You know what I'm saying? The Roman Empire took down the Grecian Empire. Before they did that, when it was kind of still being balanced, it was the Roman Republic. You know, so my point to all that is we had a level of autonomy. Southern Kingdom, excuse me, had a level of autonomy, but they still was catching hell. They still had to go through 70 AD. They still had to go through a whole bunch of shit, you know what I mean? So yeah, they were really like a vassal before, say like 65 to 70 AD, weren't they? To the Romans. Yeah, they was a vassal state. They were in the province of, it was known as the province of Judea. That's why Pontius Pilate, he was over that province. You know what I mean? Which basically where he was at was specifically in Jerusalem. You know what I mean? So there was several I believe they're called consuls. Yeah, there were several consuls that at that time, I believe it was Tiberius Caesar, was a Caesar at that time. There were several consuls that were appointed, you know what I mean? If it wasn't Tiberius, then they could have been Caesar. But they were appointed, you know, over different regions, you know what I mean? To basically manage, you know, because the Roman Empire was big as hell. You know what I mean? Ultimately, you know, there ended up around the time of the death of Nero, 68, 69 AD, Jake was acting up. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And that's when you had Vespasian. Okay, Vespasian was the emperor that basically was a
He was a Roman general that ended up becoming the Caesar. You know what I mean? He took down Vitellius, which was the Caesar before him. That was during 69 AD, the year before emperors. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's where you get his sons Titus and Domitian, where you get the Ark of Titus. That was 70 AD. You know what I'm saying? They still have the Ark of Titus. You can go see it. The actual Ark of Titus, you can go see it. They have replicas all over the world. So that history is documented, bro. But you have scoffers. Salaki, I'm not trying to talk too much, but you got scoffers that don't believe that we're the Israelites. You got it. Yeah, that's the spirit, bro. The spirit has to go into history a little bit. Because you got to understand history, you know the mystery. Yeah, you got it, bro. Yeah. Continue on in Zechariah 12 and 7. It says, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. In that day shall the Lord Yahweh, because the Lord said, who's the chief tribe? Judah, right? The house of David, all of the nations, all of the tribes of Israel, okay, basically had to yield to the house of David under King David himself. David basically unified the kingdom, right? And then Solomon ruled, with that during that came, right? So the house of David also represents the unity of the nation of Israel, right? The leadership, okay, of Israel. It says, verse 8, in that day shall the Lord Yahweh defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. Yeah, shall be as David. David slew thousands upon thousands. See, King David was a very mighty man through the grace of Yahweh Bashem Shai, because he had a lot of faith in the Lord. So the Lord worked miracles through how much he believed, man, to make him be able to go slay somebody like Goliath. The size of a basketball goal. He was a man that fought a lot of battles. He was an experienced soldier. That's why everybody was scared of him. But King David knew that the battle was of the Lord's, man. Philistine, tall ass Hamite, you know what I'm saying? His brother had 6 fingers, 6 toes on each hand. So it was like freaks of nature, like, you know what I'm saying? Right? But it says, and the house of David shall be as God. Yeah, as the Alahayim, which means powers. Right. It's like an angel of Yahweh Bashem Shai. Angels are able to bring forth winds and destruction. Angels are able to control people's minds. An angel could bring a whole fucking natural disaster. Yep. They have that. They're very powerful. But it's saying that says that the Alahayim, that like the house of David, which is the elect, is going to be as the Alahayim, as angels. Yep. So they're going to get spiritual power and be on a whole other type of level, man. It says, and the house of David shall be as God, and the angel of Yahweh Shem Shai before these nations. Yeah, exactly. So you see, yeah, these nations gonna see us in that new body. Yeah, how powerful we are, because they really scared of us right now. Yeah. You'll talk to some Edomites, they'll get to doing all that. They'll start fidgeting. Guns. Yeah, they be all acting scared. That's why every Edomite in Texas has a gun. I mean, unless he's a sodomite. But you know what I mean? Most of because that's their blessing. The sword. So if you're an Edomite, like if I was an Edomite, hell yeah, I'd have a gun. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing you can trust in. You know what I mean? If you that's the modern day sword, right? So you know what I mean? That's why you can't the right to bear arms. That's in the Constitution. But anyway, that's why also Deuteronomy 28 it states it, man. It says that one of our blessings is that the nation shall see that I'm with thee, and they shall be afraid. Yeah. So they gonna see how powerful we are, and they gonna be scared, and we're gonna still put your ass in subjection. You're gonna still go into slavery. Because right now you see a lot of Edomites trying to act all buddy with Jake, trying to do all this nice stuff. That's cool. That's cool and all. They want to give us a little bit of bread, all that stuff. You know, maybe they talking about Jake, to reparations and all that shit. We gonna take the shit, but we still gonna put your ass in slavery when our shot return.
Yeah.
That don't mean shit. Y'all got to get repaid by blood, man. And we don't care about all this other stuff. Like Jake is worldly. They want to see. They want to get blessed right now on this side. We're looking for the eternal blessing, not this temporary little shit that Esau is gonna try out for you niggas.
You can't. What blessing are you gonna get on this side when you die at 70 years old? Think about it. Any blessing that you could possibly get is temporary, and you could get the blessing that you want, and then get sick. You know what I mean? And then get sick, and then you can't even enjoy it. You know? So, especially if you have your health right now, bro, I'm talking to you brothers, you know what I mean? Believers in Yahushua. If you got your health, first of all, you got this truth over your health. Because Lord can take your health, but you still got to maintain your integrity. So, starting with this truth, if you got the name of Yahushua, you got this faith, okay? And then on top of that, anything else on top of that is icing on the cake. Icing on the cake. You got your health. You know what I mean? You might, you know what I mean? You got, you know, your necessities taken care of. You know what I mean? What more can you ask for in this wicked ass kingdom? You know what I mean? Come on, man. That's pretty God. Right? Because we know everything that we're doing is for the kingdom, you know, of Yahushua. All right?
Is it going?
Yeah, come on. Verse 9, it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem.
And they've all came against us, man. At various time periods, they had us in captivity, and they're all in allegiance for keeping us down on the bottom. They want you niggas to keep being gothic, getting your nails painted, rapping.
Your fucking nails
Yeah.
black, like a sodomite. That's some gay shit. I don't care how much pussy you get. You paint your nails, you put on makeup or eyelashes or a wig. That shit's gay. You put on a dress. That shit's gay. Okay? But that's this effeminate, you know, sodomite captivity. You know what I mean? You shaving all the hair off, you got a man you can grow a beard, you know what I mean? But you shaving the goatee, the mustache, everything. You wanna look like a woman? You know, you growing your hair out hella long down to your, you know, down your back, down to your ass. Like a sock, like, you know what I mean? All that's that effeminate shit that is gonna get done away with. Okay? It says, verse 10, and I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplications.
Spirit of grace and supplications. What's the ultimate format of grace? Was inheriting the kingdom and having this knowledge, full knowledge and understanding. Us being able to have Yahushua's blood be upon us, man. That way the Lord accepts our sacrifice. See, we're being back reconciled through what Yahushua did, man. And that's the ultimate level of grace that the Lord could give. And starting with the house of David, that's going to trickle on down to the whole nation of Israel. See, because first the Lord's going to kill off the wicked of our people here in Babylon and Great. And then all you Israelites that are in other places that don't want to get with this knowledge, this truth, your ass going to die too, man. See? But then it's going to reset everybody through the loins of all the true believers and the governing body, the elect. Everybody else is going to come back. See? And that's how, Lord, that grace and mercy is going to trickle on down to all of Israel, man. That's why you read about the first covenant. It was made between all Israelites, and the second covenant is going to be between all Israelites. It's going to start with the house of David, the elect, man. And then y'all going to have to come back. Y'all going to be like the brothers of Chicago, the elders of Chicago always say, nutsack Israelites, man. That's the majority of people don't be, man. See, they're not going to make it on this side. They're going to have to come back, be a reincarnation, to be a nutsack Israelite, man.
Yeah.
One of the elect.
Well, the thing is, your name not being written in the book of life, that should be embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like, Jake is easily embarrassed by a woman saying, "Oh, I don't like your outfit," or pop the balloon or some dumb shit, right? But you're not embarrassed about not, having the spirit of the Lord, not having the faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? I got a quick. Okay, real quick. This is Luke chapter 10 and 18. It says, and he said unto them, behold, this Yahushua speaking.
All right. It says, and he said unto them, behold, uh, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning falling, fall from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. See, so this devil, he's falling, bro. He's losing his power. He's losing his influence. Okay, the mind control that he had, on us, that shit's being taken away. And even regular everyday Joe Blows, Edomites, they're even calling his you have Edomites on Edomites. You know what I'm saying? Like Edomites calling out other Edomites. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Tucker Carlson. You know what I mean? He cursing out his own. You know what I mean? And you see him on the videos, he gets all red because he be getting frustrated. He's like, my country. Yeah, your country's going down the drain, nigga. You know what I mean? And we can call you Edomites niggas because a niggard is a stingy. That's exactly what you devils are. You know what I mean? You're stingy, man. Because of Tucker Carlson, because that's what everybody looks at him like the high ball bro. Tucker Carlson. Because he does the interviews. He does good interviews. He gets in front of the people that we can't get in front of, you know what I mean? To show the world the shit that we already know that this man's the devil, right? But basically, they're like, looking up to Tucker Carlson for being like a truther, right? You know what I mean? But guess what? He's an Edomite too. Okay? You're benefiting from Edomite supremacy too. And this ain't a Tucker Carlson bash, but the apostles, he came up to the camp before, however so many years ago. He knows about the heat, and that's why he he knows about the. Y'all know he knows about the Hebrew. It's Tucker Carlson. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, that nigga Tucker Carlson. He knows about the Israelites, the black, quote unquote, black Hebrew Israelites, and he gets on them fake. The tiny caps. You know what I mean? He don't say who the true Israelites are, but he like, look, nigga, it ain't y'all. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. Esau is basically his house is divided against itself.
Yeah, I had to back you up on that. This is Matthew 12:26 in the NLT. And if Satan is casting out Satan, he is divided and fighting against himself. His own kingdom will not survive. So, going into the whole Tucker Carlson situation, he was on a podcast talking about Amalek.
Yeah.
Talking about those people over there in the land of Israel aren't the true people. Now, who's Amalek? He brought up Amalek like 10 times. He brought up that name Amalek.
Yeah.
So that's the hot topic of the world right now. Amalek.
You gotta say it like a Yiddish, Amalek. It's not Amalek, it's Amalek. Yeah, I'm just making fun of it. That's the Yiddish version. It's not Amalek, it's Amalek. That's how them niggas pronounce it. But you niggas made up a whole fake bastardized tongue of the Hebrew. You're not even speaking the real Hebrew. You know what I mean? We speak the Hebrew, out of faith. They got vowel points, cancellation marks, dagish, forte, dagger, you know what I mean? All this bullshit, all the little squiggly lines, that shit wasn't on the on the ancient, okay. Yeah. Esau added that shit. You know what I mean? He added the vowels that don't belong in the Hebrew. That he added the O's and the U's and the E's. So that's it. He taints everything he touches. Brothers, guys. It makes sense though, because like the name of the Lord is gonna be dreadful when you meet the nations, man. Y'all don't want the actual people to be called upon those true names and repent. But meanwhile, the hashtag, that's why y'all niggas scared, man. That's why they trying to flag brothers' videos. That's why they trying to label us with all these hate groups and terrorist guys. They're gonna label us with them because they're gonna try and shut this word down. But it doesn't matter because the damage has already been done. Once a bullet gets inside your body, damage already been done, man. See, that's how it is. This truth.
The arrow, the Lord has made this truth go amongst the four corners of the world, and now it's done its damage. The elect is really all know. It's a matter of them being built up enough in the faith to be able to endure, man. But it's hard. The damage already been done, man. Ain't nothing you can do to bring it back. Got it, bro.
Now, that was a point on that one. I had another one.
Yep.
Yeah, this is Isaiah 59 and verse 15. Yeah, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey.
You make yourself an enemy. You know, when you speak against Esau's wicked ass democracy, speak out against the Fruit Loop community, all these Fruit Loops and Transformers, thing one and thing two. You speak out against that, you're an enemy. See, you say something about those little. Oh man, don't say nothing about the little hats. Those what's tiny caps. Yeah, what's the nigga with the that long nose off Smurfs?
Oh yeah.
That enemy off of there. Them looking ass and Gargamel looking ass niggas. You say something about them, then your ass gonna get canceled, called a terrorist and everything.
I'm sorry.
It was some I think it was an NFL player that got fined for doing a touchdown. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He got a touchdown and he fucked up in the camera and he went like this. And they fined him for that. Just for that. He didn't say nothing. He just doing this. You know, I'm about to get flagged just for doing this. You know what I mean? Because that's a sign of, greedy, you know what?
Yeah, that's a whole meme now.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you can rub your hands together like this, but you can't go like this. That lets you know, man, who controls the shit. Esau was and left. You know? Hey, what y'all like to talk about? You know? Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that. Yeah, because like brothers going into, man, you make yourself an enemy. You got a problem with this wicked ass world we're living in. Then your ass is an enemy. You're a hater. You know, because you're speaking the truth. But that's okay. The Lord wants us to be labeled as being a hate person. You know, what's the word called? You commit treason. When you speak out against a nation, and that the nation's going to go down, somebody's going to attack them, that's known as treason. So the Lord wants us to be identified as that. He's going to come and bring that deliverance for the true believers, man.
Finish it out. Isaiah 59 and 15.
Yep.
Yeah, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil make himself a prey. And the Lord saw that it displeased him that there was no judgment.
Yeah, but it's pleasing that there was no judgment. That's what you see happening right now. That's why you have scriptures like Proverbs 17 and 15. See, curses him that justifies. I believe it's curses. There's woe or something along the lines. But it says, woe is the person that justifies the wicked but condemneth the just. See, somebody speaking out against the wickedness that they've done over there in that land. Then you are enemy. They like the brothers going into. You making fun of one of them. They wicked ass. You do something like that. You get fined, man. But meanwhile, you have dudes taking children to islands doing Lord knows what. He gets taken out of jail. He gets bailed out. See, you have a nation go and attack somebody unjustly and take their land. See, by means of things like manifest destiny and all that, that's justified here. See, but that's the society we live in. It says, like you read it, it said, truth faileth, but he that speaks the truth maketh himself a prey, man. So you're an enemy for speaking what's right. Even you had that one Marine that just got thrown out of court because he was calling him out. He's like, man, I'm not fighting for this war. This war is wicked.
They broke that nigga's arm on camera.
Broke his arm, man.
Oh my God, you just broke his hand. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was, you heard that shit break. You saw that shit break too. That nigga said that nigga didn't care, bro. And all them whatever people, I don't know what hearing it was, they all just had their backs turned to him. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even look around to see. And it was a pink Edomite too. You're supposed to be, like your kinsman, your brother. You know what I mean? And that nigga was strong. It was like three, bro. That nigga was strong. I ain't gonna lie, that nigga was strong, bro. Like it was like three big niggas trying to take that nigga out the room, bro. That nigga was knocking chairs over. You know what I mean? So, and these are the Edomites. See, that's what people like. Those are the types of Edomites that make people think that America has a chance. You know what I mean? Because there's still people who, have their head on straight, Edomites, that have their quote unquote, have their head on straight. And they see the
bullshit that is going on in the leadership here in Babylon the Great. They're like, this is not what I went to war for. That's what he was saying in the thing. You know what I mean? We don't. Our children don't want to die for Israel. We're not going to war for Israel. You know what I mean? But yes, you are. And that draft we talking about over there, that draft is opening up. Okay, so we're gonna see. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah. Okay, this is Numbers 24, and let's see here. And also, man, as well, like that just shows you that Lord is having even his own. See, the military is supposed to be one of the most loyal men in the society. That's supposed to be one of the men that's supposed to be okay. That's the standard for the society. Yeah, guys in the military are like F this place, man. Cause they see that it's complete wickedness, bro. They going over there. Really, they're fighting over. Really, when the Lord say he'll give us land, like Mr. Tucker, Mr. TC, Tucker Carlson called your ass out on. He said from the Nile to the river, the Nile River, all the way to the Euphrates.
Yeah. So
he said y'all don't have that.
Yeah. Why don't y'all take that?
But they're fighting over it right now.
Yeah.
Like that whole land, they've been fighting over it for years.
That's what they want. Because I believe doesn't Iran border the either the Tigris or the Euphrates River? I think it has at least one of them rivers going through it, right?
Yeah, it's right by it.
You know what I'm saying? Hold on, you know what I mean? But I got that precept here in Numbers.
So Numbers 24 and verse 20, it says, and when he looked upon Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. Hell yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wipe y'all out. Y'all ass gonna get wiped out, man. See, starting with Yahweh Shai and the rest of the governing body. We're gonna get ready to see them give judge for what they've done. Whenever the Babylonians came and seized the southern kingdom, guess what happened? They were cheering them on, helping them out. You see, whenever we look at all these slave trades, whenever you look at who runs the music industry, who runs the food, right? Guess who was ran by? Those little dudes, man. Those little old dudes, that long nose, man. Those niggas, man. And guess what the Lord's gonna do? He's gonna remember what they did to us, man. And we're gonna have them in our hands, our possession. See? And we ain't gonna show no mercy. You didn't show mercy. What mercy did you show to Israel? The Latin tribes over in the Americas. To the southern kingdom, you didn't show no mercy, so we ain't showing you none. Matter of fact, you can get Revelation 13:2.
God, this is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10. And it reads, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Who led into captivity, man? Those
Tiny caps.
Those tiny caps. Yeah, we gotta say you gotta switch it up. You saw flag our videos. Those tiny caps, man. They the main ones that led you Israelites, man.
Esau
heroes.
Esau in general, because it's not just him. Of course, he's the one. See, the thing is, he's the head tribe of Esau. Amalek is the chief. You know what I mean? That's the chief tribe of Esau. So like Rockefellers, the Rothschilds. You know what I'm saying? The elite banking families. You know what I mean? Those are Amalek, Amalekites, So that's really the ones that, once they get taken down, all the other Edomites are going to follow suit. You know what I mean? You're not going to have no choice, But they're all going to get taken down at the same time.
But yeah, they smite the head, everything else is going to go off. Go out of there, man.
Right.
Got it, bro.
Continuing on, Revelation 13 and verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Oh, yeah.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints.
The Israelites, man. That's who the saints are, the Israelites. And the only people that's going to be conducting themselves as being a saint is going to be the elect. And that's what the elect is hoping for. We're praying for the Lord to bring this destruction upon Esau, Edom's kingdom. This wicked-ass place, man. Because guess what? What happens when this goes down? It says Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. So once Babylon the Great, which is America, goes down, all these nations in allegiance with it are going to go down. And guess what? These Edomites, their infrastructure is out of there. Now the kingdom of heaven gets established. That's when you're going to have that conquest where Yahweh Shai is going to put all those crowns of these nations upon his head, man. Matter of fact, end off Revelation 2. Let's go.
Revelation 2.
Yeah, because we get to finish it.
You want me to read verse 26?
Yeah, we can read 26, 27.
This is Revelation chapter 2 and verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end.
Yeah, keeping his works unto the end, you hold fast to the faith, man. See, through the persecution, through when they mandate this device, so where you're gonna have to walk away from your life, you ain't gonna be able to make purchases. You ain't gonna be able to work anymore. You're gonna have to just go out on faith like our forefathers did. They had King David was being chased by his son. He had to just leave. We're gonna have to do the same thing. Abraham was traveling. They was going. We're gonna have to be on that same spirit, just going off by faith. You got it, bro.
It says, to him will I give power over the nations.
All the nations, man. Moab, Amalek, see Ammon, see all you Hamitic nations. See everybody. He's gonna give power over the nations, because that's what kingdom means. Kingdom means sovereign power and dominion, and that's gonna be given to who? The Israelites, man, ruling under Yahweh Shai and under King David. You got it, bro.
Verse 27. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
So we're gonna whoop y'all ass. That's what it's basically saying. See, excuse the Swahili, but we're gonna stick our foot up your behind, like you did to the Israel. We're gonna repay you worse though, because we're gonna have spiritual power, and it's gonna be in righteousness. So all these things that brothers read the scriptures, read all these judgments, we're gonna actually be issuing out the judgments. We're not just learning the scriptures just to, oh yeah, we're gonna read all day and teach. No, we're actually gonna be judges. As the Lord says, He'll make us into kings and priests. So the law is going to go forth out of Israel, man. We're going to actually go and issue out the judgments. All right? And when that happens, guess what? You nations ain't going to be able to get it right. So it's going to be a lot of butt whooping in the kingdom, man. Got it, bro.
Says, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers.
Broken to shivers, man. That's what's getting ready to happen. That's why you have precepts like that, Micah. Arise ye and thresh, O daughters of Zion. I shall make thy horns iron. See? When it goes to horn, it means like beams or rays of light. And iron is one of the strongest metals, man. See, that's what they use to fight in war and battle, to block swords and they block arrows. They had iron weapons, man. See, so the Lord says He's gonna make our rays of light that powerful. That means spiritual power. That's what it's talking about, and we're gonna use that to bring righteousness back into the planet Earth under Yahweh Shai's rule. Whether you want to get with it or not, you'll be forced to. You ain't gonna have no choice, like the brothers going into earlier, man. That it on them?
God.
Yep. Got it. Hey, so with that, man, Lord willing to silence and edify. You want to end it off by saying, call alone?
Yeah. All
right, double honors to the apostles and elders. Great millstone, root teach well. Next time, talk about Shalom.
Shalom.